Good afternoon, everyone. This is Christian with PerfectStockAlert.com, a 100% free service for smart investors and traders. Today is Friday, January 28th, 2011, and it's time to look at the market, so check it out. All right, let's start off looking at the Dow Jones Industrial Average. Everything I said last week still applies, so if you didn't watch that video, check that out. We have an overall bullish uptrend across the board there, so that's got to be something you definitely pay attention to. We did have activity this particular week to the downside. Didn't happen until Friday, so from this point here, we were buyers when we had this bullish engulfing signal, been holding all this time, and even this week, you still have a higher high and a higher low, so you're still in that overall uptrend there. Nothing's really changed except that you've had to, at the end of the week, you erased all the gains and pulled back a little bit. So you had to keep a tight stop on this, or you could be exiting on the first sign of weakness and waiting for another buying opportunity there. Again, even though we're having a sell-off here on Friday, this is not a bearish engulfing, therefore not a sell signal. This is a bearish engulfing. This is just a pullback like you saw back here, you know. So whenever you get the pullback, you'll be looking for the opportunity to be a buyer. And notice you're still in an overall short-term uptrend, and you're still in an overall long-term uptrend as well. So keep that in mind. All right, last week we talked about gold finding support at this particular area with all these support lines of this previous resistance acting as support. You'll see that we're getting this tail out of the bottom of this candlestick here, showing that's where buyers are coming in. That makes perfect sense. You should be seeing that, but I wouldn't be a buyer at this very moment. I will always want to see a nice bullish engulfing confirming the signal before I get involved. So until I see that, I would stay out of it. Quick look here at the Hang Seng, Hong Kong Hang Seng Index. You can see we've had 2 weeks of pulling back here. Nothing major going on here. This is your buy signal, bullish engulfing, move to the upside. You could exit on the first sign of weakness, wait for another buy opportunity, or you could be holding and just letting this pull back and before attempting to make another move to the upside. That's your call. In my particular case, I trade as long as she's moving in that particular direction. When she stops doing that, I exit and look for another opportunity. In this particular case, we're just watching it to see if we get another buying opportunity along the way, see what kind of comes along. Main thing here, you've got this uptrend, midterm uptrend here, as well as the overall longer term uptrend picture that is very bullish as well. What that means whenever you have a really bullish uptrend going on is you want to look for pullbacks to happen. They're going to happen. It's a natural situation, but you want to look for those opportunities to be buy opportunities. Find those opportunities like we did back here, which blue arrow indicates showing opportunities where we see a buy opportunity. That will always allow you to be buying at the uptrends and selling the downtrends. Quick look here at the BSE weekly, 1-year weekly chart here. You can see you have a bullish uptrend going on here, blah, blah, blah. And then you get a bear signal here, a very bearish sell signal where you have a bearish engulfing the previous candlestick. Then she bounces around here, does not give you another buy signal, forms yet another bearish engulfing, another sell signal. We took this one, down she goes. And now we've got yet another one right here. This is a good one. Sell right there, stop right there. Makes perfect sense. This is still in a downtrend. Got a series of highs here, lower highs, and now another series forming right like that, okay? Quick look at the London Financial Times Index, the FTSE. You can see we had the same overall pattern we talked about last week. Very bullish situation, but this one we've not been bullish on since back here we started seeing weakness. So this was your buy signal. You traded up for a few weeks and then you started seeing weakness and we were done with it. But relatively, the only thing that's going on here is just flat trading activity. That's all she's been doing. And you're going to start seeing this. We talked about this last week, so I don't want to go over the same information. But the reason why you're flatlining right here is because of this previous resistance line here. This is going to be acting as support now, as is this uptrend line here. So there's not really a lot of downside potential right there at the moment. It may break down, but until that actually happens, you remain in a bullish uptrend and you're still just relieving overbought conditions by moving sideways or pulling back like you did back here. But you always want to be looking for those buy opportunities. In this particular case, last week we told you had a sell signal here, but the target would be this uptrend line because that's what often happens when you have a move to the upside like you had back here and then a sell signal. When they're a counter trend like that, they're not as strong and they can bounce around and just pull back to the trend line and then take off again. So keep an eye on that. A quick look here at the NASDAQ, same situations we had mentioned last week. Watch that video if you haven't already done that. You know what our view on this is. Looking like a pullback, not a sell signal, but definitely a pullback going on. Oil has got the same bullish formation going on here and it takes off again, but this particular situation we've got a bullish engulfing right here. Stop would be here. You could be a buyer at the closing price and looking to go higher. In this particular case, this like so you had one here, you had one here. It's like the third or fourth one in the series without a major pullback, so they get a little less trustworthy the higher they go like that. I like to see the buy opportunity after a pullback has happened, but in this particular case, if you're a bullish short-term trader, you keep a tight stop on oil and look for this to continue to trade to the upside. I will warn, however, you are overextended on the RSI above the 70 line. Okay, keep an eye on that next week. Okay, the Russell broke down last week and just continued that particular trend at the moment. Did back test this trend line here that we broke through last week, and we continue to find resistance there. It's going to keep seeing selling here. But like I mentioned last week, here's your support line based on a previous resistance. That's where I expect it to fall to. Not a lot of downside potential there. You could see different ways it could trade out, but one of the methods could happen is really short. First thing early next week, you see a major sell-off, pulls back down here, and then starts to try to reverse again. So keep an eye on that, see how it plays out. But overall, you do have to respect this very bullish uptrend. That means looking for the pullback to be a buy opportunity because you don't have a bearish engulfing telling you to sell it. You just have a pullback. Quick look here at the S&P 500 large cap index. Same bullish chart formation. The same resistance is going to act as support. All right, doing this little number here, bouncing around, break through. You still have an actual uptrend in here. You've got a buy signal back here. We've traded up for several weeks, and now you've still got a series of higher highs and higher lows. You keep a tight stop right here, but in any event, you want to remain bullish as long as you remain respecting the bullish uptrends, the overall chart pattern, and you do not have a sell signal here. You have, like you had back here, a sell-off that's going to have a formation of a bullish buying opportunity. This won't change until you get a bounce where you start to get a series of lower highs. You're not seeing that yet. Thus far, we're still having no problem climbing higher, so I keep looking for that to happen. Okay, last week we pointed out the silver chart was still very bullish, even though you're having a little pullback here. The last signal we had was a sell signal there. You could have traded it down to the downside. We told you this support line here, the middle Bollinger Band line, would probably provide some support. Then you had more way down here. We didn't expect to get anywhere near this, but it's something to consider. And again, we told you this is a very bullish chart pattern here, so you want to respect the pullback as a buying opportunity. Even though this week is showing a hammer formation, and then a lot of guys will trade on that and try to trade it to the upside, it's not a bullish engulfing signal, therefore I will not do it. A quick look here at Canada's market, the TSX. You can see the same bullish overall chart pattern taking off here, and we have a sell signal here and here, but both of these were a counter trend. The trend is still up, and therefore it's not something I like to look for. It does tell you to look for consolidation or something of that nature, but it's not something that be trusted to make a major sell-off. You got to have both the trend and the signal confirming one another to be a real strong move. In this particular case, you didn't have that, and it's just traded back down to find to feel out the support line right here. We did pierce below it this week, but we closed well above it. So all we're seeing from this first sell signal right here is just a bunch of sideways activity like we've been seeing on the FTSE, all right? If you've not been to our free website at perfectstockalert.com, it's right there. It's 100% free. We got all kinds of cool stuff there. We got a really nice message forum, lots of smart investors and traders posting their ideas and trades there. And we have a nice bunch of material there on the website in video format teaching different technical analysis tricks, as well as our portfolio and things of that nature for anyone who's interested in that kind of thing. So I'd love to see you guys there. Take care, enjoy your weekend, be safe, God bless, and have a quick look at our disclaimer. There's the disclaimer. Read it and weep. God bless. Take care.